One sound, then a continent moves. One gunshot, two bodies, and within weeks, millions of boots marching, trains screaming across borders, telegram wires glowing red-hot, an entire continent rolling downhill like a boulder that just discovered gravity. And here's the terrifying part. It didn't happen because everyone wanted a world war. It happened because people made human mistakes inside an inhuman system. Tonight, we're going to walk through the streets of Sarajevo, minute by minute. Then we're going to do the terrifying math of alliances, the kind of math where "I've got your back" becomes "now I must bury my generation." Hook. How do you start catastrophe by accident? How do you start a global catastrophe by accident? Imagine you're in a car. You take a wrong turn. Not, "Oops, missed the supermarket" wrong, but, "Oops, my mistake became a chapter heading in every history book" wrong. And the assassin? He's not a movie villain with a volcano lair. He's a teenager with a cause, a pistol, and a moment where fate leans in and whispers, "Now, bridge." Before the spark, the weather. But before the spark, you need the powder keg. So let's talk about the emotional weather forecast of the Balkans in 1914. Empires are trying to hold together multi-ethnic territories. National movements are trying to pull those territories apart. And a lot of young men are convinced history is calling their name, usually loudly and with terrible handwriting. Bosnia is under Austro-Hungarian rule. Nationalist resentment simmers. One revolutionary current is Young Bosnia, a loose movement with a big dream and, eventually, deadly help. That help includes the Black Hand, connected to elements in Serbian military intelligence. And into this pressure cooker arrives the heir to the Habsburg throne, Franz Ferdinand. He visits Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. Dry humor, quick beat. What could possibly go wrong on a highly symbolic visit in a politically volatile city on a date loaded with nationalist meaning? History? Hold my telegram. Minute by minute. A team of would-be assassins positions along the motorcade route. One attempt fails. Then another. A bomb is thrown. Chaos erupts. But the target survives the first strike. Beat. And here's where the story turns from plot into tragic machinery. After the bombing attempt, the plan changes. The motorcade intends to alter the route, but communication is messy. Confusion is human. And security planning, let's just say it had room for improvement. Then the car makes a wrong turn. It slows, and by pure terrible luck, it stops near one of the conspirators, Gavrilo Princip. He steps forward and fires. The weapon is widely identified as an FN Model 1910 handgun. The shots hit Franz Ferdinand and his wife, Sophie, Duchess of Hohenberg. Both die. And just like that, two lives end in seconds. Not symbols, not chess pieces. A husband, a wife, a family, shattered. But the world doesn't pause to mourn, because empires don't hear tragedy, they hear opportunity. And this is where one gunshot becomes a system failure, because now the alliances wake up. First domino. Vienna blames the Kingdom of Serbia and decides the moment has come to crush Serbian influence. But Austria-Hungary isn't acting alone. It has a powerful ally, Germany.
Germany provides what historians call the blank check, support that encourages Austria-Hungary to take a harder line. Then comes the ultimatum. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary delivers an ultimatum to Serbia, so severe it's widely seen as designed to be rejected. Serbia replies, accepting much, but not all. Austria-Hungary rejects the reply. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Dry humor, quick beat. Diplomacy, 1914 edition. Austria-Hungary, we demand you agree to be investigated by our officials inside your country. Serbia, we agree to most of it, but Austria-Hungary, you have chosen violence. Everyone else, wait, what? Now Russia moves. And once Russia moves, Germany moves. And once Germany moves, the timetable starts eating the decision makers. August 1st, 1914. Germany declares war on Russia. August 3rd, Germany declares war on France. Night of August 3rd through 4th, Germany invades Belgium. August 4th, the United Kingdom declares war after Belgium's neutrality is violated. That's the math. Not 2 plus 2 equals 4, it's one regional conflict plus alliance commitments plus fear plus rigid war plans equals global catastrophe. And here's the horror. Once mobilization starts, leaders feel trapped by their own timetables, because trains, reserves, and pre-written plans don't care about second thoughts. Youth. The assassin is a student, young enough that the court treats him as a minor. Nationalism. People aren't arguing abstract policy, they're arguing identity, humiliation, destiny. Mistakes. Security failures, miscommunication, miscalculation, leaders gambling that war can be contained. Alliances, promises meant to prevent war by deterrence, end up pulling everyone in when deterrence fails. A world war wasn't one decision, it was a chain of decisions, each one reasonable to someone in the moment, until the system passed a point of no return. So what do we learn? Small events can trigger huge outcomes when the system is brittle. Alliances are leverage until they become handcuffs. Pride and fear are terrible decision makers, but excellent accelerants. And the most haunting lesson of all, sometimes history doesn't turn on the strength of a villain, but on the weakness of a process. One gunshot spiraled into a global catastrophe, not because fate demanded it, but because human beings built a machine that couldn't stop once it started. And if you want to sleep poorly tonight, ask yourself, where do we still build machines like that today? If you want the next chapter, how trench warfare turned Europe into an industrial scar, subscribe, because this was only the first domino.